Get on podcast next time, Austin. You gonna let him on?
Rules are rules. Did you win?
Yeah.
Who came in second? Justin?
Yeah.
I tried to coach him. I was like, here's.
I saw all y'all move up to expert. I was like, I'm getting on the podcast.
Not only were you like, you were like, could have stopped and hung out with me for 5 minutes and then got back on the bike and still won.
So I was like, Justin, you should just stick on his wheel all the way through on the road.
That was the plan.
The road attack.
What is up, guys? Welcome to Barn Door Cycling video vlog, and this is Spooky Catalyst 2024. This is my footage from the race. As you can see, I'm not in the race. I'm standing at the sidelines. That was the intermediate group doing 2 laps. This is the beginner group doing 1 lap, taking off. And as you can see, I'm going to join in behind the beginner group. I'm not actually even in the race. I don't know what I was really doing here. So we'll get into that in a minute. But this was the final Soil Grand Prix. The Soil Grand Prix was our little sort of series where we tagged, I think, 5 different races together and kind of kept track of who was doing what. I really wanted to do well in this because I was possibly going to beat Hank. If I could have beat Hank in this race, and, you know, the only place I'm probably going to beat Hank is in a mountain bike race, but he's a lot better mountain biker than he was, and I'm probably not going to beat him. So, but I did have, you know, that skin in the game here at the Soil Grand Prix, so, and I'm not actually racing, which sucks. So I've had a bad week. It's been an overall pretty bad cycling season for me. It feels like, I mean, I did a lot of great things, had a lot of fun, did a lot of good enjoyable rides, but I never felt good. I never felt like I was making any progress in any way cycling this year. It's been a pretty rough year for me for cycling. The problem was I just never felt like I was getting over. I'd do a ride and then for days I would feel crappy. I got sick a lot. I was tired a lot. Had a lot of this annoying chest tightness and compression and pain that I've been feeling for a long time. I have good news. There's absolutely nothing wrong that they can find with like my heart, cardiovascular, or pulmonary systems. Everything's great. But at the same time, I struggle to train. I don't feel like I ride well until I've been riding for like an hour. I don't know what's wrong with me. But anyway, I didn't do this ride not because of that, but because I crashed. I was doing a little Wednesday night. I think Wednesday night I was doing a little road ride in my neighborhood. Oh, that guy just went down. I was doing a little road ride in my neighborhood and up in a campground not too far from where I live. I was kind of tooling around in this campground, stood up and sprinted up a little hill and my chain snapped. I went off the front of the bike, landed really, really, really hard on my side and my butt, especially my butt. It was a really uncomfortable crash, but I guess as far as crashes go, it could have been a lot worse. I didn't break any bones. I have a huge bruise on my rear end. It looks like somebody beat me with like a giant baseball bat or hammer or something, but little minor road rash here and there, and the bike wasn't hurt, so I guess really you can't complain about that. But still, that was just a few days ago. That was Thursday night, I think. Yeah, and Friday, pretty rough. This was the second day. I felt horrible when I got up. I wasn't planning on riding at all, but you know, I was like, well, I'm going to go to the race and see everybody. And I should have just brought a camera and took pictures, but I decided, I was like, I might feel like riding. I took my bike. So I rode around a little bit in the parking lot. I was very stiff, very sore, and I just made the decision not even to try to do the race because I didn't want to end up making it worse doing it. The good news is I have Nate's footage. Nate Jones, he got 3rd in intermediate. He gave me his SD card from a GoPro 13 that he just got, and he's like, I don't really know how to edit this, so I'm just going to give you this if you want it. And I'm like, yeah. So I'll post his footage at some point in the future and maybe kind of edit it and kind of find some cool parts from it. So that's something to look out for. Thanks, Nate. So my ride behind the beginners here, this was pretty chill. I didn't ride really hard. I didn't feel good. I didn't feel like riding hard. I had a pretty enjoyable time just chilling out behind a few beginner women and just riding pretty easy. I did the Catalyst loop pretty relaxed, and honestly I couldn't have went much harder. Like if I'd actually signed up for the race and got in, I would have been about in the same place that I am now. I definitely would have been off the back because I just had no real get up and go. I don't know how much of that was connected to the crash and how much of it was connected to just my general issues I've been dealing with. So that being said, let's talk about the race, and again, you can see from Nate's footage when I show it to you later. I'll put a little clip in here to see it, but what it's like. It's almost like a totally different event watching these guys race. They're going so much faster than I am, and it's so much more intense. I'm just like, it's a totally different thing than what I'm doing. But let's talk a little bit about this Catalyst race. I think this is the 4th year that they've done this. The Touch of Nature, the loops here, the trails here are excellent. They've got really great flow, lots of interesting trails features and sections, rocks and hills and climbs, and really just about anything you'd want. And at the same time, this race, I'm not saying anything anybody hasn't probably noticed here, but the race is actually shrinking and not growing. The field sizes weren't very large, me and Matt Carey were talking about this, and it's just hard to understand. I don't know what's wrong. Now, I can't say anything because I didn't race, and I definitely could have paid my money and jumped in, but it seemed like a horrible idea. And if I hadn't crashed, I would have definitely been in the race. There was a lot of people I know that mountain bike that weren't here. There was a lot of people I didn't know that were at the race. But like the field sizes, it looked like because they run there's 4 fields. There's the advanced, they do 3 laps, and then intermediate does 2 laps, and then beginners do 1 lap. So the first year they did a series of 3, and then I think they cut it down to 2 that year. This year they only did 1 race. And this race, I mean, I have to say, like, if I was the person in charge of this and putting this on, I would wonder if this was really worth even doing. There was probably, I don't know. I'm going to stop for a minute and go look up how many people were actually in the categories. 1 second. Okay, there were 29 people in this race, and like adult racers, and there was a handful of youth racers. So I just don't understand this. Now let me kind of go over what this race has going for it. So the trails are awesome. The time is awesome. Like, you couldn't ask for a better time to do a mountain bike race. It was like right around 60 degrees, super dry, just like fantastic conditions for the trail and for the race. October is prime mountain bike season, and like the event staff are friendly. It's $45, which it's $40, and then run sign up, ride sign up charges like $5 basically. So like that's a little on the high side, but also too, they do provide food and stuff. So I'm like, the only thing that this race doesn't have is any kind of like prize money. The prizes are, they're cool little like sculptures, sort of things with like a chain ring on them. So they have cool prizes, but there's no swag. I feel like in some of the earlier races they had 70, over twice as many, and we just thought this would grow because it was so awesome. But if anything, it shrunk. And I just don't understand why. So if anybody would like to comment and tell me, like, what do you think is wrong here? Why isn't this growing? Is it just we don't have the mountain bikers in the area to support it? People don't want to travel here? What is the problem? Did they not promote it? Do you think people didn't know about it? People had other things going on. It is a busy time of year, lots of activities. But at the same time, I'm just stunned that this has not picked up steam and grown as awesome as the trail and the racing here is. If we didn't have the crew from a handful of people from like Kentucky, it would have been almost all just local riders. So look forward to a race breakdown. We'll do a final podcast probably for the season, wrapping up the Soil Grand Prix. Congratulations to Hank. I know he did super good in this race. Congratulations to Austin and winning his category, and Zach from Bike World winning the advanced cat. No, he didn't win. That was Barry. Congratulations to Barry Parks, kind of pulling off, I thought, a little bit of a surprise in winning. All right, see you guys later. Thanks for watching.